Hello everybody, it is Dylan from Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything, back with another manga scale review. Scale 17 was released yesterday. We are recording this Tuesday, the 20th of December. You are probably seeing this the day after Christmas. If that is the case, Merry Christmas to those who celebrate it, and Happy Holidays. I hope you had a wonderful holiday weekend, and I hope you enjoy your holiday break if you are fortunate enough to be off for this week, which hopefully you are, and you can spend time with family, friends. But I just like to, I like to put these videos out once the actual English version comes out, so that is the reason that we record this. Me and RarityFanGirl is joined by me. She does manga scale dubs on her channel. She does a lot of good fan-made videos, so definitely check her out. I mean, you guys know her at this point. She always does these reviews with me, and so we are recording this Tuesday. You'll probably see it Monday. Just want to put that out there. So yeah, let's get right into it. The question that was asked in Scale 16, we always ask a question at the end of these videos, was which characters in the manga do you want to see duel? I picked Reiji vs Yugioh. Rarity picked
Yuto and Shun.
Yuto and Shun. I'm sorry, I completely blanked out there. And you guys, as you can see some of the answers flashing across the screen now, a majority of you agreed with Rarity, Yuto, and Shun, and I didn't even think of that. That's honestly a really, really cool duel, and it would work in this manga. As we know, they're not really friends as they are in the anime. A lot of you guys also said you wanted to see a U-Boys duel, which that would be interesting because it's not really, unless they duel within, like, Yuya's mind, it's not really possible at this point. Of course, they could get split down the road, but Rarity, what did you make of that, like a potential U-Boys duel down the road of this manga?
I think I understand why a lot of people would like it because of just how great the U-Boy duels have been. I mean, we've technically had, well, Yuri and Yugioh, depending on if you like Kaito and Edo, then you like that duel. I thought it was pretty good. I liked it for some reason, but Yuri versus Yuya is definitely one of the best duels we've had in the show, so I can understand why a lot of people would want that. And in terms of how it could work, wouldn't it be interesting if they dueled, like, Yuya's memory versions of them? I think that could work, right? If Yuya's looking for his memories and maybe, like, each of the boys are guarding the memories. Like, dude, you're not looking at these. Get away. I have to fight you. And then Yuya's gonna win. Because we've seen before, the U-Boys can't win a duel on themselves unless you're Yugioh. Yes, Yugioh's best you. Who I do yet? Yes. So.
Yeah, it would be an interesting concept. I would love to see it, so thank you to everyone who answered. We hope you stay tuned till the end of this review to answer the next question, and maybe your comment or your answer to the question will be featured in our Scale 18 review. But Rarity, thank you as always for joining me. I'm going to give a quick overview of what Scale 17 entailed. I thought it was an enjoyable scale. I liked it. I don't know if I liked it as much as maybe the previous scale, Scale 16, but it was another really good scale. The Yuya and Reiji duel continues, and it does not end. This duel is going to go at least into Scale 18, maybe even longer. This has been a long duel. But a quick overview.
Dubbing it a nightmare.
Yeah, I know. If you want to dub it, which maybe that is in the cards for Rarity, it's going to be a long process. But you know, hopefully you do give it a shot because we do love your manga dubs. But anyway, the scale starts with Shun, Shingo, and Yuzu all interacting. Shun and Shingo kind of went into the hideout, and Yuzu is there, and they end up, you know, having some humorous conversation with Yuzu. They move her bed, and they find the kind of secret area that leads to the basement of this hideout, assuming that is where Yuya and Reiji are, and then that kind of breaks off, and they cut to Eve and Ren, and this is the first time we've seen Eve and Ren in a while. We get a better view of what these two look like. Again, we're kind of assuming that they are the two main antagonists, especially Eve. I mean, we saw Ren during his duel with Yugioh, but we get a good view of Eve. We're assuming these are the two main antagonists of the manga. Of course, they might be a mid-antagonist where they're defeated in, like, Volume 5 or Volume 6, and then, like, Zexal, we didn't really see the main villain of the Zexal manga until or Volume 8, I believe, in the manga it was. So we don't really know if they are the primary antagonist, but they're definitely up to something. And they talk about Adam's Factor again, which we still really don't know what Adam's Factor is, but we know that Yuya has it, and most likely Reiji has it as well. Then it cuts to an interesting flashback. Yuya says, "I know why you hate my dad, but that's not, you know, the story that my dad told me at all." We see Yuya in some container, whereas Reiji was kind of tricked into a room. I guess Yugioh forced Yuya into this container, which kind of just says, you know, Reiji is maybe, you have to kind of psychologically trick him a little more, where Yuya is maybe just more fragile. Nothing against that, but I think that was just kind of funny how they showed it. And Yugioh just goes on about the story, and he basically says the world is going to be destroyed because of God's power, Genesis Omega Dragon. The rampage can no longer be stopped. And Yugioh says, you know, I wanted to stop it, but Leo Reiji's father was obsessed with the card, and eventually it just got out of hand. We knew it was taken from a military facility. We know it's a man-made product. We don't know who created it. I'm sending you into the past, which is World Illusion. I'm sending you into the past. You have to find out who created Genesis Omega Dragon, and I believe he says you have to destroy it or stop it from happening. I'm not 100%. I forget if he said that or not, but basically...
He said, you must find out Genesis Omega's true identity here. That's the only way to save the world. That's all he says.
Okay, so maybe that means stop it. Thank you, Rarity. Maybe that means stop it. Maybe it doesn't. Who really knows? But Yuya, we knew he was looking for Genesis Omega Dragon, and so we learned some really interesting dialogue there. And we now have Yuya's story versus Reiji's story. Which one do you believe? That's, I guess, left up for you guys. You guys can comment down below. I think Rarity will touch on that when she gives her quick overall review of this whole manga scale. Then it goes into the duel. It goes back to the duel, and Yuri does some good moves. He gets a little damage on Reiji, but he basically says, damn, this guy's good. I understand why Yuya's being so cautious with you. I've done my part. Yuya, you can take over. It's like Yuri kind of loses interest a little bit, which fits his character in the anime and the manga perfectly. Yuya steps back into it. Reiji and Yuya kind of go back and forth. Reiji summons a really cool DDD monster with no attack point, 0 Laplace, or Laplace, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, which is, you're able to summon it if you tribute a DDD monster with more than 2,500 attack, and any monster it attacks, it gains double the monster's attack points, and it inflicts piercing damage, very similar to the clear deck that, this is going to be a huge throwback, in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX that Fujiwara Yusuke played. Which actually sounds very similar to the 6th protagonist's name. I just kind of realized that. But Fujiwara, he played a clear deck, and I believe it was Clear Vicious Knight, who had that very similar effect where basically the monster, all their attack gets added into the attacking monster of the user of Fujiwara's monster. So very similar to that. Eventually, though, a lot of these effects start to sound similar because, I mean, we now have almost 1,000 episodes of the anime. We have so many manga scales. Eventually, you start to make these connections. But basically, Yuya's able to get Star Venomy into the Pendulum Zone. I believe he's able to get Dark Anthelion into the Pendulum Zone as well. And so Reiji says, Reiji is in shock that he was able to do that. Yuya saves his life points. He saves himself from losing. Reiji goes, your pendulum scales are at 0. I've stopped your pendulum from swinging. Yuya makes the ladies and gentlemen plea and says, I will press forward. The fun has just begun. And that is the end of the scale. So is Yuya setting himself up for victory? Who knows? Rarity, I'm going to hand it over to you. I want to hear all your thoughts on this, as I'm sure all the people watching want to hear it as well, and I want to hear your guys' comment down below what you thought of this scale, of course, and if you haven't read it yet, I haven't said this, huge shout out to DMC as always for translating. The link to this scale will be in the description. Rarity, what did you make of scale 17 of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 manga?
I really like this scale, really mainly for the flashback, but I'm going to talk about that later. I'll get the most interesting things later because that's how I roll. The end thing, you also forgot to mention, he says something called Overscale Pendulum, which I assume is going to be the next evolution of pendulum summoning, which we have actually seen that in the anime. I guess you could say like Pendulum Fusion and all those like Pendulum Exceeds, Pendulum Synchro, I guess is what that is in the anime. I don't know. Or maybe he's able to pendulum summon maybe he's just able to like rewrite his scales maybe, or just pendulum summon maybe despite its scales becoming 0 or something. I don't know, but I could see him summoning about Odd Eye's Phantom Dragon, maybe doing an upgraded form because we have Dark Rebellion's upgraded form. So why not give it to Odd Eyes? Back to the duel. I like that, what you were saying earlier about Yuri. I like that he just literally did his turn and then he was like, Yuya has the business with you, I'm gonna leave. I like that. Because it's not technically, I guess, Yuri's business. Because I don't think Reiji and stuff consider Yuri and the other Yus as originals, just personalities. I like that they're leaving this to Yuya, but I bet you they're still there watching over him. And I'm kind of disappointed that we're probably not going to see Yugioh, because, we had Yuto and Yuri, and I would have loved to see Yugioh, but he got a solo duel all to himself, so I guess they're trying to give him a break. I just hope we do see a scene if he is actually sleeping, of them waking him up, because that would be kind of adorable and probably very hilarious. And I also just like Reiji's facial expressions again. Man, that one face he made when he was shocked, like, I think I've seen that face, like, when, Akabaleo was, like, trashing him during their duel with Yuya. That face, it just reminded me of that, and I started laughing. Yuya has great art and facial expressions, as always. The duel was pretty good. I liked Reiji's new card. It was kind of like a tribute summon. He's really going old school, man. I kind of like this. The manga deities are just... It's a completely different playstyle. He's going pure pendulum, not like in the anime, but he's still kicking butt, so it's not like Reiji's being a downgrade. So it'll be cool for you DDD players. I know on New York Cradle, a lot of the discussion usually about these manga skills is the cards, because usually those are the first things to leak all the new cards, so... And then one of the mods is like, we're supposed to talk about the scale, guys, not talk about the OCG. So it's kind of funny that they kind of do that. But into the flashback, this is one of the reasons I kind of want to do this arc, because I'm a sucker for emotional, dramatic moments like this. I'm really a sucker for them, and I felt so bad for Yuya. He's trapped in this tube, and it looks like he's, like, waking up in this tube. It's like there's that shot of him closing his eyes, like, drifting back, then his eyes shoot up. He's like, where am I, Dad? What's happening, man? And in Yugioh, I feel bad for the guy, man. I feel bad for everyone.
Yeah.
Yuya's just like, I have to leave my dad, and he's trying to do this magic trip. So, did people actually die? Because he's like, I'm gonna rewind time. Does that mean the future doesn't longer exist? Is he, like, converting all of reality into the present? I actually don't know. It's just very interesting. He sat in this rocket, and then Yuya, who isn't wearing his cape in the flashback, but we see that part of him, you know, because apparently the events prior to what we have now was half of a year, which I predicted right. I did say that Yuya was away from his dad for a couple months, about half a year, so I was right on that. Ding dong, I was right. So I was right about that, but so I guess he magically gets the cape because reasons. I guess we're never getting an explanation as to how he got that cape. I want to know. I want one of those. But another thing is, where do the U-boys play into this? Where are they?
Right.
Because we saw them in the city. So where are they? Are they already inside Yuya? Do they come later? Because I was saying, like, last chapter that because of this contact with Genesis and Mega Dragon, that's how they got fused. Or Yugioh had something to do with it, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Where are they? Are they already in Yuya? Does the pendulum have something to do with this? I can't even fathom what's happening, man, but... Oh, the moment. Yuya's facial expression, he's crying. He's like, Dad, don't leave me! Oh, if I do that, poor my Yuya VA, poor JD. He has to do all this emotions. Well, he likes that, so.
I also want to add one thing to what you were saying, and if anyone in the comments or who's viewing wants to try to make any clarity of this, please do, because as you can tell, Rarity's confused, I'm confused. This leaves a lot more questions with a lot of different kind of aspects. It leaves a lot more questions than answers. And another thing is, he sends Yuya, and I'm assuming Yuya's the only one who went back into the past 20 years, because he was in that pod. Like, Yugioh didn't go into the past, but wouldn't Yugioh exist in this current world because it's 20 years in the past?
Oh, people were saying that New York Cradle, yeah.
That, I just kind of thought of that.
They'd be like teenagers, Yugioh and Leo.
That's
which I'm
weird.
surprised. So, but maybe because of this thing, they don't exist. We honestly don't know. I still think Yugioh's alive. We know Akabaleo's dead, but I think Yugioh is alive because he's a magician, right? But he says all up to you, Yuya. I don't know. I just want to see him come back because I love Yugioh. I was very upset when he lost Yuri, but you know that duel had to happen for everything that happened. So honestly, another thing we see when Reiji summons his deity, we see the cracked picture of him with his father. So remember that card he had at the end of Scale 13? I think that's what this card is. Because it was confirmed to be a Pendulum deity back then. Like, someone was able to read the card, not the name, but it said deity and it said Pendulum. So I'm guessing that's what that card is, the new card he summoned. I don't remember the name. So that's interesting. So that's probably, like, his ace card at the moment. And, yeah, it's just... Are you
referring to Zero Laplace, the Zero?
Yes, that one.
That
one.
Cool.
Yeah, not Zero Maxwell. I know what that card is.
Right.
These new names, I'm just not a good.
A lot of Zero. Now there's just so many different card names. Jeez, I know it's tough. It's tough, and for people like us who don't like play competitively, it's tough to do. But that's why I love getting the insight from people. Like, you know, do these cards make the deck competitively? Because even though I don't play, I am very interested to see if these cards, how these cards affect the world in real life. So that's why I do love, you know, discussing the cards to some degree. But yeah, so Rarity, overall, comparing this scale to maybe 15 and 16, the two that we've previously reviewed, what did you think of the scale on a scale of 1 to 10 and in comparison to the previous two?
That's hard. I still say my favorite of these bunch has been 14. but I'm biased. I like my U-boy interaction, okay? I'm biased. And I'm more usually fond of the things that don't have to do with dueling. I love dueling, but then after a while, like, this duel is going on 4 chapters, probably, because I can see it ending next time. So it's like, I love doing it, I love dubbing it, but I just like the emotional moments. Like, I'm starting to get my stuff for Scale 10, and I'm just loving the last scene in that, which is the U-boys fighting like kids. Why can't I have more of that? It's great. Like, why can't I have more of that? I want it, man.
We might get more in the future of this manga.
I think
we will.
I just feel bad for Yuya. I mean, Yuya's so much. I don't know. Is it bad? I'm kind of sympathizing more with manga Yuya than anime Yuya right now.
Well, anime Yuya is
pretty broken.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I feel bad for him, but this Yuya is not a Zark, though. Like, this Yuya is pure Yuya. Like, he's not a demon. I don't know. I feel bad for both of them, but I just like manga Yuya better because he's more mature, and he's not a freaking Nagao happy guy, and he's not a demon. I'm sorry. That demon thing, I just can't even.
You just went on a rant right there.
I'm Rarity. I'm known for ranting. Have you met me?
That's very true.
In terms of rating it, I give it a 7. I think I really like this chapter mainly for that flashback, pretty much, and the Yuri bit at the beginning. That's pretty much about it. I think the last few chapters were a little bit better, but Scale 14 still of this arc is my favorite. So, but that's my thoughts.
Yeah, I definitely, as I kind of alluded to, enjoyed 16 more. Maybe I even enjoyed 15 more. But this was a good scale. I mean, the manga's been really good regardless, and it's been a good scale. It's been a very entertaining duel, and out of 10, I'd give it a 6.5 or a 7. I thought it was good. I wouldn't put it like a 9 or a 10 range, which I think I gave 16 like a 9. I mean, I really, really enjoyed 16. The scale, I thought, I wouldn't say it was slow, but I felt like there wasn't a lot of process that was made in the duel, so that's probably...
Oh, another thing I forgot to mention about Eve. We see... They're still hiding her face, but we see part of her eye shape. And if you look at it, that looks very similar to Shun's and Reiji's eye shape. And now a lot of us are thinking, just in the community, that she is the older version of Yuzu. But by the eye shape, it doesn't look like that because it's more not as much a direct circle. But then again, when people mature, they're, in anime, their eyes usually change their shape. We've seen this before. So it's not like this is totally out of the question. That's because Eve seems like a full adult. But they're hiding her eyes and her face. Same thing with Ren. So that's telling me they're hiding something big.
And it would be cool if, like, the reveal is that she's an older Yuzu. That, I think, would be really awesome. Also,
it's also very hard to play her when this is the second line of dialogue she says in the entire manga is in this chapter. She only says one other line in Skill 10. Very, very hard to act, writers.
Well, and it's very tough because with a character, and I guess you could say it with any character, when you have to pick a voice for this character, everyone kind of pictures her voice differently. And so whatever, like if you end up dubbing this scale, it's like you have to pick, you're the one who picks the voice that 10, thousands of people...
Picked.
Right.
Same thing with Ren as well. But at least with Ren, my Ren's VA, who is also, I'm not going to say who's playing him, but he is one of the VAs we have on hand who's played a character. And we went through a lot of different options, just deciding his age. But luckily he has a backstory, and like we know like his character a little bit more than Eve, so it was kind of a little bit easier to figure out something. But yeah, that's just the challenge of manga exclusive characters and things like that. Like envisioning things. The other VAs have it easy where most of the other characters are in the anime, so I'm like, they sound like this. You can do your own take or you can do your completely different thing. But yeah, I'll probably get more into about how I dub things, because I'm probably going to do commentaries for my project, so you guys get to hear me and the U-Boy VAs ramble. Yeah, I'm going to do one for each of the projects with the U-Boy VAs for each chapter, so it's going to be great. So you guys get to hear us talking and how this actually goes down, because I know a lot of you are probably interested of how we do things, but we're not here to talk about that. I'll be able to talk about that plenty on my channel, but that was just something interesting I had to mention. I'm sorry.
There's nothing wrong with an early plug. Usually the plug's at the end of the video, but no, I'm just kidding. No, but so yeah, really enjoyable scale, guys. Definitely check it out. Definitely leave your comments down below. We're going to give you the question, and definitely also check out Rarity's channel, because what she does over there with the dubs are really cool. We're going to give you the question, Rarity, if you want to say the question. Hopefully you guys, me and Rarity will answer it, and then hopefully you guys will have some of your answers on your own. This question's more pertaining to this particular scale. Yeah, we're doing this. We don't run out of ideas. Sorry. There's not enough ideas we can do this for over
50 more chapters. But anyway, the question this time is, how do you think the duel between Yuya and Reiji will end? And Dylan, we're going to start with you. What do you think's going to happen?
I think that I don't think. First of all, I don't think we're gonna get Yugioh. I think there's gonna be no more U-boy interference. I think the next scale is just gonna be straight up Yuya versus Reiji, and I think I really want Reiji to win. I do, just because I feel like nothing against Yuya, but I just feel like who's gonna beat Yuya then if Reiji doesn't beat him? He's not gonna lose to like a main antagonist, especially that Yugioh's beaten Ren. So it wouldn't really make sense for Ren to then defeat Yuya, especially when Yuya can get help from Yugioh and two other really good duelists. So I'd rather see Reiji win. I think. I don't see, but now like Reiji keeps making the lines like, if you want me to listen to your story, then prove it to me through a duel and beat me. And so for the story to progress, you would think that Yuya has to defeat Reiji, unless Yuya puts up a really good fight and then Reiji maybe, even though he wins, is like, alright, you know what, I respect that, I'm still going to tell you what happened. I don't think that Akaba Reiji would do something like that, especially Manga Reiji, but I still think that it's either Reiji's going to win or it's going to end in a draw. I do not think that Yuya is going to win this duel, so more confident saying Yuya won't win than Reiji will win, but that's my prediction.
For me, I think it's going to be a no conclusion or a draw, as you stated, because they could still do a lot with them having a draw or a no conclusion, because we do have Shingo, Shun, and Yuzu coming towards them. And I could totally see if Yuya gets out of a jam again, they use Yugioh to escape, because that's what Yugioh's job is in this manga. Just take him on the motorcycle and get out of here. I don't mind that, though. I like seeing the D-Will, because of the anime, it's good! the poor D-Will, I call it the Ringo, but whatever.
Oh
I call it that, I'm sorry. But anyway, I think that would be honestly the best chance that Yuya have to regroup, maybe Yuya grabs Yuzu. I don't know, because he seems to be done with her. I don't even know how the relationship's gonna happen, but Yuzu still cares about Yuya, so honestly, I could see a draw or no conclusion where we don't exactly have a resolve to this conflict yet. Or maybe Ren or Eve intervene at some point. But then again, if no one wins, because Ren and Eve are watching this to see if Reiji has the Atom Factor too. They're seeing that, so maybe there's a point where they prove that he has it, but the duel isn't finished. I honestly don't know, but I'd personally like to see a no conclusion, because I don't want to see the result of this just yet. Perfectly honest, of this kind of confrontation, because I think I want to see them duel again, so if one of them wins, I want to see them duel again, so if we end up just Reiji winning, then it's kind of just like why duel again, perfectly honest, unless there's something plot related. But yeah, that's where I think we're going, and where we're gonna go from here, I have no idea.
I don't either. But that's actually another good. Maybe that's a scale 18, a preview of the scale 18 question. But no, great answer, Rarity. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to everyone for watching our Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 Scale 17 manga review. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys answer this question, and I hope you guys leave any comments regarding the manga down below for probably the fourth time I've said it. If you want to read this scale, please check the link in the description. Huge thank you to DMC, as always, for translating.
Hi guys, I'm Rarity. I'm just gonna give a quick plug, because that's my job, right? I dub the manga. I'm a pretty cool person. Just to give you guys an update on Scale 10, I originally wanted to try to get it out for Zarkmas, as I said in the last podcast, but that's not probably going to happen. But it will be out probably within the next 2 weeks or so. This is the finale of the arc we're doing, guys. It's going to be amazing. We do have one more thing planned that we're going to dub after this. In terms of something smaller. I don't exactly know what arc we're going to do next. I need to see where the story is going, perfectly honest, before I can decide anything else. And we're also going to be doing commentaries after this, probably like once a month things where me and a different U-Boy VA will be talking about the editing and what went into making the chapters. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys would be interested in that. And I also do AMVs, comic dubs, I do fun stuff on Tumblr. Maybe I'll do other fun things, I don't know, but that's me. And I can't wait to see you guys for next month. Woo!
Looking forward to it. So RarityFanGirl31, check her out. Thank you for coming on, Rarity. Thank you to everyone for watching, for spending your day, or not spending your day, but for spending a solid 20-25 minutes and listening to what we had to say. And hopefully you guys will get a chance to say what you want to say in the comments below. I will talk to you guys in the comments. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you for watching.